Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm back here at Team Toyota of Princeton. Take a look at this brand new 2023 Toyota RAV4 Prime. This is the SE all-wheel drive trim in ice cap. And what we're going to do with this review today is we're going to check this out, see what it brings to the table in this plug-in hybrid SUV market, and see if this is the trim to get if you don't want to spend over $50K on one of the higher level RAV4 Prime trims. So let's dig in. All right, the front end of this RAV4 Prime SE in ice cap. We do have the Toyota badge in the middle with blue around it, indicating hybrid. We do have LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, LED turn signals, no fog lamps on the RAV4 Prime. And what I don't like is we have fake venting here. In my view, just punch these out, make them functional side air curtains. What do you got to lose? You're putting the design in there anyway. Down, we have gloss black around the license plate area. Down below, some brushed aluminum trim. All right, our wheel and tire setup on this RAV4 Prime SE. We have an 18-inch wheel, gloss black, silver accents, 5 spokes, nice sense of motion, standard brake and rotor package. These wheels are wrapped in Dunlop Grand Trek PT20 all-season tires, 225 on the width, a 60 series sidewall 18s, all 4 corners, all-wheel drive. All right, our full side profile on this RAV4 Prime SE. Ice cap is the color, a nice bright white. Looks good against the black. Not so sure about the gloss black around the wheel wells and along the bottom of the doors. Looks good new, not so sure how that's going to fare once this thing is being driven quite a bit. We only have some chrome trim that goes across the tops of the windows on either front and rear door, and a flat black on the roof rail with the crossbars. So overall, it's a good looking side profile on this SUV. I'm just not so sure if that gloss black is going to take too much of a beating once you start putting miles on this thing. As we come in closer, this is what I mean by all this gloss black here. Looks good now, not so sure how it's going to fare. You got your plug-in hybrid badge on the front fender. Then we have color matched on the side view mirror with LED turn signals, color matched on the front and rear door handle. On the left side of the vehicle, we have our, on the right side of the vehicle, we have our plug-in for our battery. And then on the left side is where you have your fuel filler cap. We do have a roof spoiler coming up the back. We do have color matched on the roof with shark fin antenna. There are those flat black crossbars, and then we have a standard sunroof. And again, my apologies for all the pollen, but again, it's still coming down pretty hard here in Jersey. The rear end of this RAV4 Prime SE, again, that roof spoiler. The windshield wiper is down below on the rear glass, the Toyota badge in the center with the blue indicating hybrid, RAV4 Prime on the left of the tailgate, SE on the right, and then gloss black all the way down to your functional dual exhaust. All right, we're under the hood of this 2023 RAV4 Prime SE, and what are we looking at for a power plant? We have a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder engine mated to a CVT transmission. 302 combined net horsepower, 288 combined net torque. That includes the gas engine plus the electric assist. MPGs in combined driving 94. Gas only miles per gallon in combined driving 38. The engine's minimum octane rating is 87, so you can run this on regular unleaded gas. We're at the right rear quarter panel of the vehicle. Here is our charge port, and what are we looking at here? We got an 18.1 kilowatt hour, 335 volt lithium ion battery pack. It's going to get you 42 miles of EV only range once it's fully charged, but the best part is it's going to extend the range of your gas tank to 600 miles. And that's an estimate. Could be different based on driving conditions. And that is a large number in between fill-ups. Charging time for this battery pack, we're looking at about 4.5 to 5 hours at a level 2 charger at home. All right, before we get into the interior of this RAV4 Prime SE, you're going to want to know, Mike, how much does this cost? Well, MSRP for the RAV4 Prime SE all-wheel drive trim before options, $42,340. Now, with this particular one, we got to add in some options. We got to add in the weather and moonroof package for an additional $1,665. That's going to get you heated, leather-trimmed steering wheel, rear outboard passenger heated seating, rain-sensing variable intermittent windshield wipers with de-icer function, and a power tilt and slide moonroof. We then have to add an extra $315 for the crossbars, an extra $250 for the body side molding, an extra $309 for the carpeted floor mats and cargo mat, an extra $150 for the door edge guards, an extra $69 for the rear bumper application, an extra $129 for the mud guards, and an additional $65 for the wheel locks. Then we have to add in destination and delivery of $1,335 from Toyota's Aichi, Japan assembly plant, and we have a total MSRP for this vehicle of $46,627. Let's check out the interior. All right, footbox, nice large dead pedal brake and accelerator. Floor mats are in the cargo area. Seating, we get power seats for the driver with lumbar, but manual assist for the front passenger. Then we have fabric seats with red stitching. Two different kinds of design, a little bit of a different design in the insert, even though it's all fabric. Headrest look good, bolstering a little firm, but not bad here for an SE. Door panels, we have hard plastic up top with a chrome door handle, brushed aluminum around the grab handle on the door, flat black on the switchgear. We do have a semi-soft door armrest, which is nice, but overall nice design. And of course, you would expect on the SE, you would have some less expensive materials on the door panel, and that's what we see here. Now we get up here, we have soft touch up here, soft touch with red stitching here, a little area for storage in here, and then we have a nice large glove box. Infotainment screen time, we have Toyota's 8-inch multimedia system. Now, the navigation function in here is a subscription service where you have to create an account, log in with your personal information, and actually pay a service for the navigation. Not a fan of the pay for service navigation. I don't mind you having to log in if you're going to be using Google for this, but I don't like the fact that it is a paid subscription to get the nav. Since this is a new car and I don't have that programmed in, I can't show you the nav. Now, we do have music where you can enable and pair your phone for your music library, and then we have our vehicle settings, general settings, where you can get your Wi-Fi hotspot going, change the speakers where you want the sound coming from and all that good jazz. But this navigation is going to be disabled for this review today. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, so that's a nice touch, but I'm not a big fan of how they've updated this nav with this pay subscription service. We have 2 heat and air vents, 4-way hazards, more of the soft touch with the stitching that comes all the way across, which I do like. We have dual climate control action, which is nice. We can stick that on auto. And now we have traction control off. We have 2-stage heated seats for the driver and the front passenger. Down below, a 12-volt and some connectivity. And then we have an area for storage, no wireless charging pad in the SE. Then we have our gear shift with a nice gaiter with stitching. Going to take you through the eCVT. And now we have our electronic emergency brake, auto vehicle hold, auto EV HV. So you can drive this in EV only or in hybrid. And then your EV HV change hold button. Here are the dial to go through your drive modes. Down below here, we do have some nice brushed aluminum trim, which I like. No flat, or gloss black on here, which is nice. We have 2 cup holders, and then we have our standard Toyota key fob right here, where you have lock, unlock, pop the tailgate, and your Toyota badge, and RAV4 on the back. We have semi-soft armrest. Open that up, and we do have two USB-Cs in here, so that's a nice touch and a nice area for storage. Okay, RAV4 steering wheel, nice leather trim steering wheel with the red stitching, so I like how they bring some red stitching into the vehicle here. We do have our Toyota button, a badge on the horn button, some nice brushed aluminum down here, so not a bad looking steering wheel. It is not flat bottom, it is round, but there is plenty of room to get in and out of the cabin. Now, on the switchgear, all flat black telephone voice commands and controls for the digital portion of your dash, and then on the right here you have your modes for your infotainment screen, as well as lane keep assist and other safety suite controls, as well as your cruise control. On the stalks, we have our headlight controls, front and rear wiper controls. Down on the left here, brighten and dim the dash, adaptive high beams, windshield wiper de-icer, heated steering wheel, pop the tailgate. We have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Way down below on the bottom left of the dash, next to where your foot goes, is where you can pop the fuel filler door and pop the hood. And then we have our analog digital combo, right? You have analog gauges for your fuel level and for your battery charge level, as well as, instead of a tachometer, you have a power gauge where you're either driving economically or you're charging or you're using the battery up. And then in the middle, you do have that digital display where you can go through additional information that you may want to see. And of course, there are submenus, which I like. And then with your drive modes, you push the dial in for normal. You go to the left, you go to eco, and everything goes green. You go back to the right and you go to sport and everything goes red. And then push to get back to normal. And then another button right below that dial where you can get to trail. And now you see trail on with some rough road or dirt picture there. So very subtle, but it is a nice setup here in this SE. Overhead console. We do have an area for your sunglasses, and then if you want the LED interior lighting to come on when you open and close the door button must be pushed in. And when you open the door, your lighting will come on. When you close the door, the lighting will dim out. So they got you set up for that. Here's our SOS button in case you have an emergency out on the road. And then you have your standard sunroof. The shade is manual, but then you can just hit the button, one touch open, and one touch close. And you do have a tilt function as well, where you can tilt up or tilt down. Sorry about that. I have a problem with the button. And then you can just pull your sunshade closed. Now, our sun visor with vanity and an LED light, which is a nice touch in an SE. And then it doesn't slide, but we do have an extension for that side sun. Okay, getting in the back seat of this RAV4 Prime, I have the driver's seat set for my driving position, and now we're just going to pop on in. Nice and easy to get in. That squared off body design, plenty of room for your head to get in. At 5'11", plenty of shoulder width room, plenty of knee space. And now we have that fabric all the way down, but we do not have a seat pocket behind the driver, but we do behind the front passenger. And down here we have two heat and air vents and two USB-Cs. So they got your rear passengers covered for heat and air and connectivity. Back door panel looking the same as the front with the same use of materials. Here's our front door panel looking good. And here's the back door panel looking the same. Now, as we come to the back seats, again, the same fabric with the red stitching, with the design on the insert, nice and comfortable. And then we take down our armrest, semi-soft, two cup holders, but it's a nice, comfortable place to be back here in this SE Prime. Getting in the tailgate area, again, you can pop it from your key fob, or you can come to the back here underneath the Toyota badge. There's a button, hit it, beeps a couple of times. Nice electric assist on the way up. Nice feature on an SE trim, and then nice electric assist on the way down. Plenty of room in the back of this RAV4 Prime for your gear. Here are the carpeted floor mats that I mentioned earlier. Here's your charge cables, as well as your all-weather cargo mat. Underneath, we have a spare, so thank you, Toyota, for that. On the right side, we have a 12 volt for power and LED lighting, looking good, but a nice area. We do have this tonneau cover that is removable, and then to get the rear seats down, you just have to reach forward, hit the button, and push the seats forward. No problem. And now you got plenty of room for those larger items. And if you want to get some items with height in, you can pop this tonneau cover out, and it's going to give you plenty of height since we have that square look as far as the way the body goes. So plenty of great storage in the back of this RAV4 Prime SE. Window sticker time. Sorry for the glare, but it's one of those hazy days out. Here it is, close up, RAV4 Prime SE all-wheel drive in ice cap. Come on down. Here are the estimates for fuel economy. And we come over to our equipment, standard on the left, and options on the right. And then our MSRP. One more look at the options in case I missed everything. Let's take her out for a spin. Right, we are driving this 2023 RAV4 Prime SE. And first things first, great visibility out the windshield, side glass, side view mirrors, and the rear window, no problem. I do have the safety suite in here, blind spot monitoring, cross traffic alert, all that jazz is in here. Nice and composed on the road, damped very, very well. Steering, nice and light, but when you point the car where you want it to go, it goes. So no issues there, even though it's not a sharp steering. It's the steering you would expect in an SUV like this particular one. And what I am digging in here is the fact that in an SE, you're getting some pretty nice stuff in here. You get the dual climate control, you get heated seats, you get heated steering wheel, you get your windshield wiper de-icer, which is a nice touch in the winter, especially if the car is going to be living outside in your driveway or on the street. You get the sunroof, which I like. But there's a couple of things that you don't get, right? You don't get the wireless charging, but that's not the end of the world as far as I'm concerned. And you get USB-C action here in the center armrest and in the back for the rear passengers as well. You get a electric tailgate, which is nice in an SE trim to get the electric tailgate. I've seen some other brands with higher level trims that don't have an electric tailgate, so that's a nice touch as well. The suspension is well damped, right? You go over some bumps and you really don't feel them as much as I was expecting, so that's really, really nicely done. But when you do get up to speed on the highway, you do have a little wind noise coming through the windshield, and you do hear what's going on the outside of the car, so you're not totally isolated. Then that's to be expected in a classic car like this. But overall, it is a really nice put together SE package. And if you're interested in that plug-in hybrid, which is going to give you a big extension of your gas tank range, then I think this is one you may want to put on your list and look at, especially since you're at a price point under $50 for the SE. This one seems to be in a pretty competitive price point, even in a competitive price point against that Tucson Limited plug-in hybrid that we saw the other day. And now that one has more amenities on the inside because it's a limited trim, but this one is going to get you more range to tank. I believe the plug-in feature on the Tucson got you about 420 miles of total gas tank range. This is up around 600. Now, you can't take that 600-mile estimate as gospel. It all depends on how you drive as an individual, where you're driving, and how fast you're going to get up to that 600-mile range. I'm assuming that is a top of range figure, that if you are like hypermiling like a madman, driving at the speed limit on a fairly flat ground, this is what you probably can expect. But a lot of people live in different parts of the country. If you live in the mountains and you're constantly going uphill, downhill, probably not going to get that. Or if you live in a cold weather climate, you're probably not going to get that in the winter. So, you know, you got to keep that one in mind when you're looking at that total range of the tank. But now we're going to come up here. We'll do a quick 0 to 60. Now, I'm not going to floor it because it's a brand new engine, but the estimated 0 to 60 time in this, believe it or not, is 5.7 seconds, which is pretty quick. So here we go. And we're at 60. That's pretty nice. I mean, you get the 302 combined net horsepower, 288 combined net torque. It gets this vehicle up and moving really well. So I really like that. Obviously, not a big fan of the CVT in here. Would much rather see a 6-speed automatic transmission like we see in the Crown Max Hybrid, where they went with a 6-speed automatic instead of the CVT. I like that option better. The Tucson has that option as well with the 6-speed automatic. Like that better than the CVT. It handles pretty well for an SUV. Now we're going to do an emergency stop in 3, 2, 1. Nice stop. Throws out the anchors nice and linear. And now off we go again. But that engine's going to be a bit noisy as the CVT tries to get it up to speed and still maximize that MPG band of range. So it again, let me know what you guys think about the CVT in here. I would rather see a 6-speed automatic like Toyota has done with the Crown Max Hybrid rather than this. But you let me know if you're cool with the way this is set up, or do you agree with me? But overall, a really nice package in this RAV4 Prime SE all-wheel drive. And then, of course, you get the all-wheel drive as well. But it's a nice package. It's well put together. And it's going to get you some really good MPGs and save you some gas at a time when we're going into the summer. And you know as well as I do, when summertime hits and more people start driving, gas prices are going to go up. It's happened like that every year for 100 years. So just expect it. But let me know what you think about this. If you're looking at a plug-in hybrid, would you go RAV4 Prime SE? Would you go Hyundai Tucson plug-in hybrid? Let me know what you think. Or would you go somewhere else? Let me know where you would spend your hard-earned money. But I want to thank Team Toyota of Princeton for allowing the channel access to this 2023 Toyota RAV4 Prime SE all-wheel drive for review today. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you'll never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you on the rebound. Take care, everyone.